secular, when we talk to security professionals all around the world here, is that security policies are buried in hundreds of different systems that an enterprise acquires over a period of maybe decades that they have acquired on. What hope, if at all, do enterprises have of uniformizing these security policies and taking this bridge analogy that Kevin had earlier said, right? There's identity and there is data, and this bridge is now the security policies, right? Who has access to what piece of information. Historically, if you look at a regular enterprise, I have SAP, I have Box, I have Microsoft, I have email storage all over the place, right? So many different access control methods. What hope do enterprises have?
Yeah, it's a great question. First, a plug for my solution a bit, right? Because we are an amalgamation, a centralized place to put that policy. So to externalize and pull that policy out of the individual applications in the structured data area or the custom applications you're building is a philosophy or a move that now as a NIST best practice, you can take that step, authentication and authorize, and create that policy in one central location. But I think getting to your broader question, I see policy and policy confusion as the number one CISO complaint and really area that they're always looking for help in. I've got all these compliance and regulatory and audit things that are coming at me, different suggestions. You've got, zero trust being thrown on all over the place now, as every solution says they're a zero trust solution. And I think CISOs are often craving for what is that best practices policy that I can put and kind of run across the board. So the issue you have today is, you mentioned all those applications, all the different business teams, whether it's IT, development, business, they're all doing each their own piece of work inside these applications or with access to data. And then you've got different teams, maybe the finance team or the HR team trying to come up and say, well, we need to do this for this compliance, we're going to run this policy. So you have a lot of conflicting policies, a lot of different needs that people are trying to solve across the enterprise. So I think, as we talk about, for a CISO, what should they really be trying to do? They should be trying to implement practices around the data and the access that both Kevin and already talked about, as if that's their product, because that is their product, right? We're almost always talking about intellectual property, and process is what almost every company produces now, right? Ford no longer produces necessarily automobiles. They subcontract out every piece of that development. It's the process and the information about how they do that that's the intellectual property. So if I as a CISO take that's my product, and I have to worry about protecting that in a different way, as Artie said, that's the perimeter. I think that's really the difference.